Dear Uncle Lloydie, questions I've got a few for you. Cause you've been alive for a while, that's what you do. And I know you've seen a thing or two. I wanna pick your mind. Cause all of us here in Tromaville are waiting for the answers from you. Give it. Dear Uncle Lloydie, if you're ready, Balls has the questions for you.
Hey now, cats, we're back again for episode 2 of the world's favorite television show, Dear Uncle Lloydie. It is a TV show, the only TV show I know of personally that Troma fans and citizens of Tromaville alike can ask our fearless leader questions, serious questions about life and any sort of advice they'd need. So I'm going to introduce you. You probably know who that is already. He's the creator of the Toxic Avenger. He is, he started the most longest, fiercest independent film company in the world, and he's actually one of my favorite human beings in the world. And I'm kind of thinking he might be my real dad, but the great Lloyd Kaufman. How you doing, Lloyd?
Okay, Balls from Ellwood. Thanks you very much for having me on, and let's get to it.
Yeah, we got to get down to business because there's a lot of citizens of Tromaville that have questions for you, Lloyd. So I'm going to start out. First one is Chlamydia Burns from Scranton, Pennsylvania asks,
Hi, Uncle Lloyd. My name is Chlamydia Burns, and I am a drag entertainer in northeastern Pennsylvania, Scranton to be exact. And I hear that you also dabble a little bit in drag. So I have a question for you. What advice would you give to someone starting out who might want to be a drag entertainer themselves? Can't wait to hear your answer. Love you, Uncle Lloyd. Mwah.
Well, I would watch Kill Dolly Kill, the movie I've produced, directed by Heidi Moore, with a good old Donna Slash. It's great. It's been had its world premiere alongside the Toxic Avenger reimagining. Watch that, and remember that drag queens are also very witty and very funny, and that's the key to it. Entertainment.
I seen the film when you had a screening at Cleveland, and I gotta say, incredible film. I'm still humming some of the songs. Can't recommend it enough. Troma fans, check it out. So let's
Kill Dolly Kill. It's a sequel to Heidi Moore's Dolly Deadly, which is available on Troma now, our streaming platform. First month free, and then only $4.95.
Balls from Ellwood has it. I can't live without it. So you're doing yourself a great disservice if you don't have Troma now, Cat. So.
Oh, you got Troma now. Great. I'm glad
I've had it since it came out almost. Yeah, I can't live without it. It's a great service.
Every month we put up new about 6 to 8 new movies. There's over 1,000 movies, shorts, documentaries. My make your own damn movie lessons. And everyone who subscribes stays there. Nobody leaves.
Not only that, I mean, there's just so many classic things on there. There's like there's just a plethora of things. There's all the different genres, all the films that you've directed, all the piggybacks, everything. I mean, if you're looking for something, if you need entertainment, that's the best bang for your buck. Fuck Netflix, fuck Hulu, fuck all that other bullshit. Troma now is the only fucking service you need. That's what I'm saying.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Balls from Ellwood.
But we got more citizens in the stress here. Aaron Markin wants to ask you, Lloyd.
Dear Uncle Lloydie, my question would be, what is your advice on dealing with self-doubt and how to rise above it? Thank you.
I can't Simple as that, and full of self-doubts and regrets. I'm no Edith Piaf. I got plenty of regrets. So I can't, I'm pretty useless in that. The main thing, well, I guess you just put on blinders and keep going. And, if you have to love what you're doing and don't listen to anybody who's negative.
That's great advice. There's been plenty of times I feel like throwing in the towel, but then like I love doing things so much. I love talking to people like you that it would be impossible to do that. So now you've always been one of my biggest inspirations, and that's why I never give up. So
good. Well, good going.
Well, here we go. We got another question for you from
Woody Allen says success is just 88% just showing up. Of course, he's fucking his daughter, perhaps.
I was just going to say that's the dude that fucks his kid, right? But it's
good advice. If you want success, you got to keep showing up and don't think about anything too negative. Although it's hard not to.
It is, especially in today's day and age, for sure. But I mean,
yeah. At any rate, keep going.
All righty. Our next Troma citizen is Jack Newman, and he wants to ask you, Lloyd.
Hello, Mr. Kaufman. My name's Jack. Hey, so my question's quite simple. Why do humans still have tailbones? I mean, we don't have a tail. Even if we used to have one, shouldn't we have just evolved out of having the tailbone?
Well, I think if you go to the United States Congress, you'll find plenty of 80-year-old, 90-year-old pieces of shit who have tails, and they just corrupt and stuff themselves, and they indeed have tails. They're apes.
That's a good point. I think they probably have more than tails. They probably have horns too.
Good point.
Moving right along, our next question for you, Lloyd, is from Hoodie Hilltop, and he wants to ask you.
Hey, Uncle Lloyd, it's Tromaville's favorite rapper, Hoodie Hilltop here. We've all heard urban legends growing up about, like, the guy who got bit by a spider and then the eggs started to hatch in him, or, like, the guy who goes back to a hotel room with a beautiful woman and ends up with a kidney missing. As an eccentric personality, I just wanted to know if there are any urban legends that you, like, 100% believe, or if there were any that scared you as a kid, like, oh, this happened to a buddy of mine. Looking forward to your answer, and as always, stay traumatized.
I don't think so. I can't think of any. I'm very sorry. I just don't know of any.
There was a couple around where I'm at. There was like the Green Man, and then there was like Mary Black.
Oh, yeah, I lived in New York City where everything was real. The muggers, the rapists, the people.
Yeah, you didn't need urban legends. You had the real deal.
Yeah, there were no legends about that.
All righty, Lloyd. The next question I got for you is coming from Troma fans Fred and Holly, and they want to ask you.
Hey, Lloyd.
Hi, Lloyd.
We have a question. Do you have any advice for parents that are starting a family? We're starting a family.
Don't.
What if it's too late? Like, what if they already got the test back and it's positive?
Way overrated. Enjoy each other, and have a good time. You'll be able to travel. You'll be able to do things you can't do. But other than that, I say the husband should listen to the wife. That's probably the best advice, and that family will be perfectly. My wife's in the next room. I have to keep
moving right along, Lloyd. Our next question is from Troma fan Dustin Hosner, and he wanted to ask you.
Lloyd, I hope you're doing well today. I was wondering, you travel all across the country to all these Comic-Cons, all these movie showings. I was wondering if you had any advice for traveling. Are you someone who wears PJs and comfortable when you board a plane, or do you dress in regular clothes? Do you drink alcohol on the flight, or do you take something like Dramamine? When it comes to travel, what are your tips for how to have a good traveling experience? Well, while you answer that, I'm going to go enjoy the spickle.
Don't take a Delta.
Yeah, I see your debacle with all that.
I can't say. I think a good traveling experience depends where you're going. Probably not a good idea to go to Gaza right now. Maybe go to. You don't want to go to Paris because it's infested with bed bugs. But I don't know. I think you have to pick a nice destination. That's probably the best tip I can give you. Most of them are not so hot outside the United States right now. So I would stay within the 48, maybe I'd stay within the 48 states just because we're living in difficult anti-Semitic times.
You know, it's just the state of the world is just horrible right now, man. But that's sound advice, sir. Moving
Thank
right
you.
along, though, let's get to it here. Troma fan Chrissy would like to ask you, sir.
Hey, Uncle Lloyd, it's Troma fan Chrissy. Quick question. I'm just wondering what you think about everyone who's getting Troma or you tattooed on themselves. Is it weird? Want to know? Love you. Miss you. Can't wait to see you.
Well, no, that's a great honor. I don't appreciate a few people I've seen who have my face tattooed on their inner thigh right next to their balls from Ellwood's.
Oh man, you seen that?
But no, it's a great honor. I feel a little bit how shall I say overcome with honor, but I think and there are a lot of hundreds of maybe thousands of people with Toxie and Kabuki Man and not too many with my face, thank the good Lord.
Have you ever seen somebody that has one of you and you're like, oh, that doesn't look anything like me?
No, they're great. The ones I've seen of me are terrific, especially the one on the one guy's inner thigh that was perfect, right next to his balls. It was great. I wanted to be there myself.
Well, speaking of you, Lloyd, I got a question from Francisco Lopez, also known as Young Lloyd, as you may know.
Oh,
he would like to ask you.
Greetings from Clevelandville. If I had one question for your Uncle Lloyd, it would be, what's a good hemorrhoid treatment? As you know, they're a pain in the ass. Isn't that right, Toxie?
I don't call it I call it hemorrhoid treatment. A good hemorrhoid treatment would be. I have to be careful here. I don't want to do anything too disgusting, but try some boy butter. Boy butter. It's a very good. Boybutter.com. Try that, Young Lloyd.
Cool. Hey, well, moving along, Lloyd, there's actually a fan that I know that you know personally, the great Vito Trigo. He wants to ask you,
dear Uncle Lloydie, I'm curious. What was the best advice you got from your parents about life?
Well, Vito doesn't need this advice. Vito is the star of Return to Nukem High and Return to Nukem High, and also most recently a brilliant movie by Liam Regan called Eating Miss Campbell. Vito is a great actor, but my folks impressed upon me telling the truth and honor and loyalty. They were very, very, they had very, good values in that regard, and kindness, all that kind of stuff. But they were wild, much wilder than I am, and they had an arrangement, so to speak. But as far as the basic values, they put friends, and also my mother used to say, you don't have to be a rich businessman. You can be a teacher and maybe even get more satisfaction. My father actually said the same thing about the principal of Trinity School, that he probably got more enjoyment from life than the big time corporate CEOs. So I think that was the most valuable. And Vito doesn't need that advice because he's got the stuff. Honorable and decent and loyal and great guy. great and very talented actor.
Oh my gosh, he's amazing. I love him so much. And that's what makes people like you and people like Vito like just incredible human beings. And that's such a good quality to have. My folks instilled that in me. And I got another person who wants to ask you something, Lloyd. Panic Attack wants to ask you.
Hi, Uncle Lloyd. It's Panic Attack from Terribly Toxic at 937 on Instagram. And I have a question. How do you deal with people who heavily criticize and or sometimes even bully your films or works of art? Huh? Because people are mean, and people are sometimes mean to me, and I don't always know how to handle it. So what is your advice? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for taking my question. I'll see you later. Bye.
Who asked that question? Was that Martin Scorsese? That wasn't Martin Scorsese, was it?
No, it was Panic Attack, but I could see how you would make that mistake.
That's I think that's Martin Scorsese's Instagram tag. There is very little negativity about Troma or about me, so I don't get much of it. So I think the best thing is if people go after you, ignore it and definitely do not apologize. Don't apologize. That's for sure, unless you've done something terrible and you feel bad about it. But usually the people that negative or go after you, they want you to respond and they want you to, oh, I'm so sorry I offended you. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That is super good advice. In fact, I use that all the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lloyd, there's another person here that wants to ask you a question that I think you also know very well. A lovely lady called Mercedes the Muse.
Oh, very talented filmmaker. Mercedes has several movies on Troma now. They're terrific. And I had the honor of producing her most recent movie, Divide and Conquer, which has just come to Troma now, played a lot of theaters. And it's her latest production is called Mansploitation. Mansploitation. It's terrific. It's the script it'll be her best movie. And she has a comic book.
Oh, beautiful. But Mercedes wants to ask you.
To be or to have anal sex? Hi, Uncle Lloydie. My question for you is, if you were held by gunpoint by a random stranger, aka me, and you had to choose to kill a helpless dog or a random person of your choosing, and if you choose the person, who would it be?
I would shoot myself.
Why?
Only way to get out. It's the only way to get out of that one.
There's nobody that you're gunning
That's
for.
a good question. That's kind of a Sophie's Choice question. And
it is. There's nobody that you upset you so much you'd like to put two in the back of their head or nothing.
I don't think so. I can't. I couldn't kill a human being. I couldn't kill anything. I'm against hunting. Hey, I was on the airplane coming back from Portland, Oregon, Sunday night, and there was a JetBlue crew member with a tag. His name was Daniel, and he spent almost the entire 5 hours scrolling through guns and rifles on his laptop.
Yeah, that's not scary at all.
Quite obscene, because if I had been doing that with porn, I imagine my seatmates would have been upset. But he was in the middle seat, and I did point it out to one of the stewardesses, one of the flight attendants, but I don't think she understood what I was saying. It was kind of noisy. But anyway, to be doing that in full view of the seatmates, rifle after rifle, and he was making notes and going back through them, and I mean, literally, at least 4 hours of doing that.
That's scary.
JetBlue. I'm staying off JetBlue.
Yeah, I think I would find somewhere else to fly after that. That's nuts. But anyway, in a safer question that Jenny would like to ask you.
Hi, Uncle Lloydie. It's Jen. I have a question for you. Where do you get all of your energy? Like, what's your secret? If you're not at Mahoning or the conventions or the Troma dance or Monster Vegan, you're at all these other places doing amazing things and helping so many people with your kindness and your smiles and your hugs and generosity and your amazing Troma army. But how are you able to continuously maintain such an upbeat, happy, wonderful personality and so much energy?
I mean, I've often wondered that myself. You have more energy than I do, and I'm like, I'm 48.
I think it's just God given. I'm enthusiastic about what I do. I'm very lucky to have a great wife and kiddies. I think I'm just, I can't say I'm happy, but I think it's the excitement of making movies and being around young people and going out in the world. And since September, I've had every weekend I've been in a different city and getting to meet all sorts of interesting people, and I think that keeps my energy going. Just watching a great movie energizes me. It's like filling up at the gas station or recharging my battery with a politically correct Tesla electric charge.
Well, Lloyd, I only got a couple more
question. Thank you very much for thinking that I'm energetic. Appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, I watch you sometimes, and you make me tired.
Oh, well, that's
now
very
we know
nice.
Now we know
Thank
your secret.
Thank you.
Well, I got
it ain't good food. It's not. I eat junk food constantly. Although since January
Really?
I've been sober, but that didn't give me any more energy. That's for sure. I haven't taken any drugs or alcohol or even pot since January. But I can't say I feel any. I get depressed and that kind of stuff. So the shrink and my wife forced me to go sober, but I feel worse if anything. I have less energy, and I take leprechaun or something like that, and
does leprechaun help?
Doesn't do any good either.
What's your favorite junk food? I just am asking you personally because I'd love to know.
I don't know that I have a favorite, but Twizzlers is way up there. Chocolate chip cookie dough is way up there. When I'm on the road, I get a lot of that stuff from fans, that kind of stuff. I have Monster for breakfast. I usually drink 2 or 3 cans of Monster a day and some coffee. That may have something to do with my energy.
I don't think that has anything to do with it at all, Lloyd.
I think I'm immune to Monster these days. I don't get any. I used to get sort of a caffeine kick, but I think I'm immune to it now.
Sometimes if you get too much, because I used to be a caffeine addict, and I just recently kind of got my shit together. If you drink too much, it acts like the exact opposite. It'll actually make you tired.
Well, that's interesting. Well, that may well be. That's interesting. Huh.
If you lay off for a little bit and then get your tolerance low again, it'll kick back in again and give you the energy.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
That's probably bad advice for me to give you, though. But I mean,
no, it tastes very good too.
Well, I got a couple more for you, sir. I don't want to keep you all night. I want to get this done.
Thank you very much, and these are great questions, and thank your fans for me, please. They're awfully nice. And
my fans love you. I love you. You know that, and they're gonna love this. So thank you for doing it, sir.
By the way, Mike Fink loves you. Mike Fink is part of the Troma family.
I love Mike Fink. In fact, Vito himself and me are doing. We've been doing a show together, and I tell you what, it's been taking off. People love it. Like we do.
I've been putting it on my Twitter. Yeah.
Thank you for that. I seen that you were doing that, and I tell you what, people have been really digging it. It's getting a lot of good feedback, and we really enjoy doing it. We have a good time. So thank you, and thank you for doing this, Lloyd. I got 2 more for you, sir. David McGee of the Vanilla Milkshakes wants to ask you.
Hi, dear Lloyd. My dog keeps having babies. What can I do about this bitch? Is there any contraceptives for dogs, or You know, what can I do? I'd like to know. Thanks.
I'm not a veterinarian, so I'll stay away from that one. But maybe David should stop fucking his dogs. That might help.
I mean, that would probably solve the problem.
Whoever he is, my guess is that's why they're getting pregnant.
So that would explain like all these weird like hybrid creatures roaming around Mexico. But anyway. Last but not least, Lloyd, we got one from Mrs. Balls ex Tina herself. She wanted to ask you.
Dear Uncle Lloydie, this is Mrs. Balls, otherwise known as ex Tina. I would like to know, have you ever tried Viagra? And if so, how long did your erection last?
How long did what?
How long did your boner last?
I can't say I've tried Viagra. I don't really need it.
So you're still strong as bull?
Huh?
You're still strong as bull?
Well, especially when I'm near the rear of a female sheep. You know, they have pretty much the same size vagina. Of all the animals, sheep are the closest to having a human vagina.
You know, I've heard that before. I didn't know if that was true.
Take it from Uncle Lloydie. I spent a year in Chad, Africa.
There was that time we spent that weekend together in Haiti too. I remember we had all that weekend me and you spent together in Haiti. I remember we had all that craziness going on.
Yeah, we did. Well, that was more romantic with you and.
It really was actually.
It was Tahiti.
That's right. We had that international coffee moment. We seen that concierge. Man, it was a romantic weekend.
Yeah.
I hope the commissioner doesn't
get
always
have Tahiti balls from Ellwood.
Well, there you have it, folks. You got to ask Uncle Lloydie. Hopefully he answered all your questions, Troma fans. We'll see you again next time. And I got to tell you, the man, the myth, the motherfucking legend, Lloyd Kaufman. Love you, sir. You have a great night.
Thank you again for you fans making Troma Now successful. And those of you who have not subscribed to Troma Now, it's a free app. The first month is absolutely free, and then it's only $4.95 for the price of a Troma Blu-ray. You get about 6 months of Troma Now. So check it out. It's nobody ever leaves. Anyone who's paying the $4.95 after the first month, they always stay. Nobody leaves.
There you have it, cats. It's quality entertainment. Balls loves it. Uncle Lloyd loves it. Why shouldn't you? Make sure you subscribe to Troma Now, and thank us later.
Vito Trigo loves it. He loves it.
Oh, dude. Jason Shannon loves everyone I know loves it. Great service.
All righty. Well, thank you very, very much. The commissioner thanks you. Toxie's behind me. He thanks you and wish you well. And thank you for your time. Oh, my gosh. Look what you have.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you get that pop top? What are those pop tops?
Oh, yeah. Funko Pop. Target has them now. I was actually able to score one. So.
At Target or where?
Yeah. Target. If you go on their website and it glows in the dark, it glows toxic.
Yeah, I know. It's terrific. I've seen photos.
But thank you so much, Lloyd. You know I love you, man. Thank you for always.
I love you, and thanks for wearing that groovy hat.
Oh, of course, sir.
Toxic hat.
Thank you for always being a gentleman. I love you, man. You have a great night. Tell the commissioner I said bye. Peace and love, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Balls from Ellwood. Good night.
Good night.